Silver Dollar City is a theme park located in Branson, Missouri. This park is very unique. It's located up in the Ozark Mountains. It's tucked away from the outside world, hidden behind the trees. The entire park is themed to this country late 1800s era. All the rides and attractions reflect this theme. Silver Dollar City has a decent selection of roller coasters with a total of 7 unique roller coasters to choose from. In this video, I will be ranking their coaster collection from worst to best. Before I get to the ranking, this is a friendly reminder that you can also follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. I post daily content, so go check it out. Number 7, Grand Exposition Coaster, opened in 2006, built by Zamperla. The park's kiddie coaster, not much here to say, it's a fine kiddie coaster, pretty popular model, moving on. Number 6, Fire in the Hole, opened in 1972, built in-house. For those who enjoy classic dark rides, will get a nice kick out of this attraction. Fire in the Hole is the park's original roller coaster ride, though calling it a roller coaster is somewhat of a stretch. Majority of the ride, it's just a slow-moving, powered dark ride until the 2 quick drops at the end. This ride doesn't offer much in the thrill department, and in the dark ride department actually. Well, the ride is definitely showing its age. I would say that this attraction has more of a nostalgia appeal than actual thrill or exciting aspects to it. For those who grew up around Branson, probably have fond memories of Fire in the Hole and love riding it during their visits. Me, as a newcomer, this was a one and done experience, and I would argue that this ride needs a serious overhaul. Number 5, Thunderation, opened in 1993, built by Aerodynamics. Out of all the mine train coasters I've been on, designed by Aero, this has to be one of the best layouts. The ride starts out by rolling out of the station down the side of the mountain. The ride continues to build momentum as you dive through tunnels and perform helixes. Once you reach the actual lift, about 2/3 of the ride is completed. Unlike Adventure Express, where the second lift is the end of the ride, Thunderation still has one final drop and turn before entering the brake run. Now, with all this praise out of the way, let's discuss why Thunderation is one of the worst roller coasters I've ridden. This thing is rough. There was a few moments where the train felt like it was ruthlessly kidney punching me non-stop for a few seconds. About a quarter of the way through the attraction, I was ready to get off. I was relieved when we started to climb the lift back to what I thought was the station, only to start bracing for more terrible transitions as I realized this ride still had at least one big drop left in it. Again, this is a neat concept for a mine train coaster, but the roughness really spoils any fun to be had. Number 4, Wildfire, opened in 2001, built by Bolliger in Mabillard. Wildfire is a more classic looping B&M coaster, as the ride uses traditional sit-down trains instead of their floorless models. Opening in 2001, it's a little surprising that the park opted for their trains with floors, as their floorless model was fresh hot on the market. Regardless, this is your typical looping coaster by B&M. It's like an abridged version of Kumba. You have your Immelman, vertical loop, Cobra roll, and one corkscrew. The pacing on this attraction is pretty good since there's no mid-course brake run. The ride never loses any speed, just whipping you through element after element until you're back on the brake run. Being a B&M looper with the bulky over-the-shoulder restraints, there can be some headbanging, but overall this is a pretty smooth coaster. I actually had more headbanging on the Incredible Hulk at Islands of Adventure, and I guess it was about on par with Kumba from Busch Gardens. Number 3, Powder Keg, a blast in the wilderness. Opening in 2005, built by S&S Sensei Technologies. If Silver Dollar City didn't have Time Traveler, I'd argue that Powder Keg is one of the weirdest roller coasters at the park. It's strange that they converted a water coaster into a pneumatic launching roller coaster. The trains share some similarity with those S&S Screamin' Swings, which I wasn't expecting, but yet it makes sense since it is S&S. The restraints and seating are basically identical. The layout is pretty good, starting off with a solid launch that sends you into a series of airtime hills. Powder Keg likes to hit up its riders with floater airtime and laterals. The only thing that doesn't work about this ride is the ending. Instead of returning back to the brake run, the coaster travels up the old lift hill from when this was a water coaster. It does one final drop and turnaround before going back into the station. This part of the ride doesn't really offer any good thrills, but it's just kind of like a way to pad out the ride time, I guess. Alright, we've come to our top 2 coasters. Depending on what you prefer will decide the ranking of these 2 amazing roller coasters. Both Outlaw Run and Time Traveler are good in their own merits, so I could see how you might consider one over the other. Number 2, Outlaw Run, opened in 2013, built by Rocky Mountain Construction. Outlaw Run is the second roller coaster by RMC and their first ground-up creation. Using their wooden topper track, RMC is able to create a wooden roller coaster that features intense maneuvers and inversions. In some ways, the layout reminds me a lot of Lightning Rod, like how Outlaw Run continues to build up speed right until the last element. All the inversions are fun, especially the double barrel roll, which I think is the best part of the ride. The airtime is typical of RMC, providing short bursts of strong ejector airtime. The ride features a lot of banked airtime moments, and only one true airtime hill, which is right before the grand finale double barrel roll. The only downside to Outlaw Run is that this ride is starting to show its age. I mean, it's only 9 years old, but anyways, there are a few pothole moments that are rather jarring, reminding me of Lightning Rod prior to its conversion. It's not an overly rough ride, but this isn't butter smooth either. I wouldn't be surprised if we see topper track replaced with the iron horse track to provide a smoother, more durable ride experience. Number 1, Time Traveler, opened in 2018, built by Mock Rides. Not only is this the best roller coaster at the park, Time Traveler is one of the best roller coasters in the world. Introducing a spinning concept to a more extreme launch looping roller coaster model is just genius. The layout is incredible, starting off with that insane vertical drop right out of the station. This is the best part of the ride. If you are in the back of the train, you get whipped over this hill, creating one of the best moments of airtime ever. The spinning aspect makes Time Traveler so re-rideable. Every experience is different from the last. You could be traveling backwards through an inversion, maybe hitting that airtime hill sideways, which is really weird to experience, by the way. There's so many outcomes that makes me get out of my seat and walk right back in line, even if that involves walking up and down multiple stairs to do so. Well, that's gonna do it for my ranking of all the roller coasters at Silver Dollar City. Did I get the ranking right? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please do me a favor and click on that like button. New to the channel, subscribe, that way you continue to get more great content brought to you by Extreme Thrills.